So we normally dive deep into real estate. Today I'm going to go off topic just a smidge, but it'll all come together full circle. If you just hang in there with me, I want to introduce you to one of Arizona's most impactful nonprofits called A New Leaf. And you might be thinking, okay, where are we going with this? Well, when we started our own brokerage about 5 years ago, it was really important to my husband and I to give back. And whether it was a great month, a bad month, doesn't matter. For about the last 5 years, every month we pick a different charitable organization to donate to. Sometimes it's for pets, sometimes it's for, foster children, sometimes it's for the unhoused, sometimes it's for our military, sometimes for the police. I mean, if it's a great organization and we can see it's going to be a benefit to our local community, we are all in. Now, no surprise, many of these organizations have lost federal funding, and New Leaf is one of them. So when my friend Annette reached out and said, hey, we've got this really cool idea, we think with the power of the community and the women in the community, we can really make an impact and pull together some big numbers to supplement or put back into the program some of these missing federal funds. I was all in. Couldn't wait to hear about it. And that was called the Women's Giving Circle, which is making a difference. And then at the end of the day, I am not a tax professional, but I'm going to give you my layman's terms of how the Arizona tax credit works, because before we moved to Arizona, I don't know if I just was clueless or if they have this everywhere, but I had never heard of this. And it's an opportunity, a way that I think is so underutilized for us to give back locally without it costing us anything. So I'll cover that and then, tie that in. Like I said, how does that come back to real estate and what does that have to do with us over here at Rover Realty? So A New Leaf has been serving Arizona since 1971, helping families and individuals overcome homelessness, domestic violence, poverty, issues from PTSD for our veterans, and other life crises. With over, they have 30 program sites across Mesa, Phoenix, Glendale, Surprise, Avondale, and other Maricopa County communities. They reach tens of thousands of people every year. From emergency shelters to financial empowerment programs, they are building safer, stronger lives in our community. So as I mentioned this year, A New Leaf launched the Women's Giving Circle, which I think is so cool. It's a group of women who connect, they collaborate, and direct funding to programs that support women and families in crisis. It's not just charity, it's humanitarian work with friendship and purpose. Members help decide how their contributions are used, ensuring that resources go directly to housing, shelter, and family support services. Now, an important update about La Mesita, which is one of their most well-known shelters. Traditionally, it included both emergency family shelter and affordable housing. But due to that federal funding cut that I was telling you about, as well as the American Rescue Plan dollars coming to an end, A New Leaf had to make the difficult decision to close 16 of their emergency shelter units at La Mesita. And they're currently converting them to long-term affordable housing. Although the shelter closed, the affordable housing units now offer stability with wraparound support such as Head Start Preschool, which is right there on site, as well as after-school programs, case management, and financial coaching remains available to the residents. Families who were previously housed in the shelter were provided assistance to transfer to stable environments. In addition to the services I already mentioned, A New Leaf also offers employment assistance, free and low income tax preparation, a match savings programs, as I already indicated, veteran support services, court advocacy, and then of course, in addition to the school programs I already mentioned, they have summer programs, early education, adult education, which is such a big deal for so many people, and then some components of foster care support as well. They are not just solving today's crises, they are building long-term stability for families across Arizona. So why am I, as a real estate agent, taking time to highlight this? The truth is, so many of the families who need these services They were just one medical emergency or one job layoff away from financial strain. And as former military myself, I deeply respect that A New Leaf embraces all sectors of our community to ensure that no one is left behind. Yes, we help people buy and sell houses, but at Rover Realty, we also make it a priority to educate our sphere on everything that is available in the Phoenix metro area, not just shopping and dining and the newest businesses that are coming in, but community services as well. For some, that means knowing where to turn or what's available if you need help when getting back on your feet or if you have had a bump in the road. For others, that means discovering meaningful ways to give back. And whether that's donating your time, household goods, or funds, we are honored to be surrounded by people with a generous spirit. And it's important for us to share resources that make a real difference. Speaking of donations, this is where moving and giving back connect. What many people don't realize is how much impact it makes to donate new or unused food, hygiene items, and housewares instead of just tossing them when you move. These everyday items like canned goods, unopened shampoo, pots and pans can go directly to the families supported by A New Leaf. For someone starting over, simple donations like these help a house feel like a home. And here's even better news. Donating to A New Leaf can cost you nothing. Through the Arizona charitable tax credit I mentioned earlier, your contribution is a dollar for dollar credit against your state income taxes. Now, let me give you an example, because when I moved here, as I said, this was like mind-boggling to me. Let's say when you file your Arizona taxes, you owe the state $600. Well, you donate $400 to A New Leaf, and when you file your taxes, you subtract that $400 donation from what you owed. So now you only owe $200. It's pretty phenomenal. It's a dollar for dollar tax credit that most people forget about. If you had already had $600 withheld from your paycheck, you actually get a $400 refund back, from what I understand and being told by my tax friends. Now, of course, there's always limitations and caps to this. For 2025, the credit caps are $495 for a single filer and $987 for married couples filing jointly. You don't have to itemize your deductions, and you can even stack this credit with others, like the school or foster care tax credit. And if your donation exceeds, what you owe, you can actually carry it forward for up to 5 years. I had no idea. I learned something new every day. So there you have it. A New Leaf is transforming lives every day, and we're proud to support their mission, whether it's joining the Women's Giving Circle, donating unused items when you move, or giving through the Arizona charitable tax credit, or your time. They need volunteers as well. You have the power to make an incredible impact. Now, next video, I promise I'll be back with a deep dive into our South Mountain area, all about real estate. In the meantime, let's keep building stronger communities together.